Hi guys, this is Jim, the life coach. This is a long-standing interview. It's one of the first interviews I did on the podcast, and this is from Elisha Myton. This is her journey. So we're going to go back to when she was younger and go forward to where she is now. She is an actress, a poet, a singer, and a writer, and probably a director at some point. So look out for her if you haven't already seen her already. Very, very, very passionate lady and very, very talented as well. All right, guys, listen. I want you to sit back and relax and listen to Elisha Myton, and this is her journey.
GM, the life coach.
Hi, guys, this is GM, the life coach, and today I've got a special interview with Elisha Myton. Say hi, Elisha.
Hey.
All right, so me and Alicia's been talking for a long time on Insta, and I hadn't have launched the podcast at that time, so I reached out to her and see if she would do it. I didn't think she would, but she said yes, so I'm very happy. So yeah, man, I've been very excited for the last week or so. So this is good. So we're gonna do a bit of your journey, your life journey today, and then we'll talk about some other subjects as well. But let's take it back to secondary school. So, Elisha, what were you like in secondary school as a young lady growing up in London?
Gosh, okay. So I was quite bright at school, actually. I got really good grades and stuff like that. I was quite talkative, so I did used to get in trouble a lot for like just being very chatty. I was quite popular, so yeah, I very chatty in the class, but I always finished my work, so the teachers didn't like that. So when they used to pull me up and be like, have you finished? I used to be like, yes, and I think they weren't expecting me to have finished everything, which is why I was generally talking. But I was a pretty good student. I was very active in like sports and drama, performing arts and music. So I used to be in like all the drama plays and like musicals and stuff like that. I was like the captain of the netball team and used to do rounders and athletics. So yeah, I was very I was up there in terms of like the sports and anything creative I was kind of involved in.
Nice. So were you weren't very shy then? That means then you were quite like about it.
To be honest, I actually was shy, but I kind of grew out of it. I was quite shy, and then I guess when the more I kind of got on the stage, I kind of had to force myself to lose that kind of vulnerability and that shyness. But yeah, I did used to be very shy, and I've kind of overcome it by just, I guess, practicing and experience, really.
Yeah. So I did a bit of research, and I found out that actually you're a singer as well, because I just thought it was just acting that you did. But so when did you start singing? When did you start the singing?
Gosh, I started singing from probably about 7 or 8.
Oh.
And I used to write a lot of poetry, and that's kind of what started first. And then from the poetry, I started to write songs. And then I just used to kind of just playfully write songs and sing them. And then I said that I was going to do a little songbook, which I did, and I've still got, actually.
Oh, wow.
And then, from that, I just started singing more and more. And people, like I remember people in school were saying, oh, you should sing more. But I used to be very nervous. When it came to singing, I was very shy.
Yeah.
But when it came to, like, acting, I didn't get shy, it was quite the opposite.
Yeah.
So, but music, I don't know, I used to get really shy. So I didn't really like singing in front of people. I'd sing so much at home and be like in my element and I guess just in my comfortable world. But I kind of overcome it. And then the more people, tried to encourage me to sing and actually do music, I started going to the studio. I started doing like open mics and talent shows. I did a lot of talent shows like in my teenage years and stuff like that.
Wow. Okay, so what was it about singing that made you kind of more nervous than everything else? What was it?
I have no idea. I don't know. I think maybe just confidence, really. Just confidence. Confidence in my voice. And I think that I always used to compare myself to the best.
Yeah.
And I'm quite critical anyway, so I think that just made me more nervous. I think just because I was hard on myself, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you had that as a young age. You were hard on yourself at a young age as well.
Yeah, I like to get things, if it doesn't sound the way I want it to sound, or if it's not like where I think it should be, then yeah, I'm quite a perfectionist. So yeah, I think I made myself nervous because I kind of put extra pressure on myself.
Okay, all right. So when you were younger, who was your driving forces in your family? Who was kind of keeping you, on track with these things that you're doing?
Definitely my mum and dad. They're definitely my biggest supporters. To be fair, all of my all my immediate family, my sister's very supportive of. She used to come to all my shows and cheer me on, and my mum as well. My brother, he's one of my biggest cheerleaders. He's always promoting and supporting things. So I've had quite a supportive network around me in terms of my immediate family, and even my friends. They've always been really encouraging and supportive, and they would always want to come to shows and support me and stuff like that. So I've been quite lucky in that sense.
Is your family musical or a performing family, or is it just
No, my mum likes to think she can sing, but she can't. No, to be honest, I don't really. Actually, that's a lie. I do have a few uncles that are involved in music, but in terms of immediate family, not really. No, none of my siblings or my parents or anything like that. No.
So you're flying the torch, man. You're flying the flag, man.
I think so.
Yeah. It's all on you. All right, so let's move from primary school to secondary school. What was that Elisha Myton like?
Pretty much the same. I was quite. I definitely grew in terms of my confidence. I was quite popular. I was quite well liked. So yeah, I knew a lot of people. Kind of got on well with everybody. I was kind of just that girl that just got on well with everybody. I guess I kind of continued to do well throughout secondary school, through to GCSEs and all that stuff. I did quite well in my exams. I got good grades. I was quite happy with that, and I guess I just kind of continued in terms of the music and the performing arts element. I continued with that, so I did a lot more performances and got involved in a lot of plays. I started auditioning for just any opportunities that I heard about, and I guess kind of try to develop my craft a bit more, I guess.
So when you was in school, what were your favourite subjects?
Oh, definitely drama, music, and PE. Yeah.
Snap back. Yeah, I love drama as well when I was in school. That's my number one subject. Yeah, definitely. All right. So that Elisha was basically the more polished version of the primary school little young lady. So you already knew you had ambitions to do stuff in performance from there, because you were already going to your auditions and stuff.
Yeah.
Nothing else took your fancy? Nothing else?
Back in the day, I was really interested in law as well, actually. But then I decided, there was a time where I actually did some work experience with a legal firm, and there was a time that I was considering kind of going down that route. But I think just the duration of studying and the cost, it kind of just put me off slightly. So then I steered down a different route. But I've always been interested in singing and drama in particular, because I've even got some of my old school yearbooks and stuff where it says what do you want to accomplish and what are your future goals, and I've actually got some written down. I want to be a singer, I want to be an actress, and all this stuff. So so I've always kind of had those kind of dreams, I guess. Wicked, and you're doing it now. So all right, so secondary school, did you go to college? I did, I did go to college. I went to university as well, so I did the full back.
Right.
Yeah. I guess I had quite a supportive family. So my mum and dad really really wanted me to go to uni, and my dad was so proud when I graduated and stuff. So it was nice to see both of them really happy. My dad was phoning up literally every single family member, telling them what I got and stuff. So yeah, they were all really happy and proud of me. So yeah, I did the whole academic route, and I graduated with a BA honours degree. So yeah.
What did you do? What did you study?
I did music and media management.
Oh.
But it wasn't a performing arts course. It was more of the business side of things. So it was looking at more of the business behind music and media. So like promotion, marketing, how to write a business plan, all that kind of stuff. More the industry, behind the scenes kind of industry stuff.
Oh, so were you interested in that kind of stuff at that time?
I was, yeah. And I guess at the time I was indecisive as well, because at the time when I did decide to go to university, I was also and ahhing about studying. I still had the love for law, and I was even thinking about doing criminology or psychology. But then I just weighed it up, and I guess it just outweighed the music and media kind of outweighed my choice, really. Yeah. And then I just went with that one.
So what, looking back from where you are now, so we're at uni, were there any regrets or anything that you would change, or maybe your route up to that point?
To be honest, if I could redo it and kind of start over, I probably wouldn't have gone university. I probably would have gone straight into, I think for certain job roles or careers, I don't think you necessarily need to go to university. Sometimes it's actually better if you can work your way up and have hands-on experience. But I think it depends what you're doing. Like, for example, obviously, if I wanted to be a lawyer, then obviously I would have needed that law degree, or if I wanted to be a doctor or a dentist. But I think for some professions, I think people need to think really carefully and actually weigh out their options, because sometimes vocational courses and actually hands-on experience can sometimes actually get you a step in front of somebody that does do a degree, and it's not necessarily 100%, 100% transferable in the real world, and you don't actually leave with any hands-on experience. Sometimes you're still kind of at a slight disadvantage, because you then need to go out and actually gain some first-hand experience. So I think it depends what profession you're actually going to choose, but yeah, I think it's definitely wise to think about that.
Yeah, definitely. I work in a school, right, and I tell the kids that all the time, like, give yourself the options so you can choose one way or the other, because sometimes you get beaten over the head with, you need to go this direction, when you need to, sometimes vocation is the way. You're right. So you had the academic side all tied up, and then you had the performance side all tied up, and from what I'm gathering, you only basically had to choose what road you'd like to take. Am I correct?
Yeah, basically.
Did you ever feel like you had to do all of it all at once, or were you just like, right, I'm going to do this now and then that, or how did it go?
Yeah, I kind of did have it planned out, so I guess I kind of just chose kind of what I was going to prioritize or what I was going to focus on first. Because I think definitely when you try and do too many things all at once, you just kind of setting yourself up to fail. So I always think it's best to kind of try and be realistic and focus on fewer things at a time, as opposed to trying to do it all and trying to be like jack of all trades. So yeah.
So you ended up doing theatre and film. Tell me about when you started to move up the ranks and start to get a little bit more better productions and theatre shows and stuff. What was that like?
It was really good. I guess for me, it was just really trying to promote myself, get myself out there, trying to get as much experience and as much work as I possibly could. So joining, acting, websites online, attending open castings, networking. I even used to go to a weekend drama school, and I also went to identity drama school. But this is when it's like first started, so I was one of the newbies, and when it was a lot more underrated, I guess not even underrated, but it was a lot more low key.
Yeah.
They didn't have then